Hey guys, have you ever seen a drawing and it looks just like a picture but different? I'm gonna talk a little about that. Alright guys, how you guys doing? It's your boy Eric once again with another Eric Illustrations video. It's been almost 2 weeks. I've been too busy and Inktober really had a hold of me. So that's why it took me a little longer to come back. But today's video is gonna be really interesting. Hope you guys stick around. Before we go into that, remember to like, share and subscribe and hit all the bells right there. Like it, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the notification bell. Let us know what you guys think of our content. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. Also remember, if you like any of the music in the background, to check Be the Human, link in the description below. Okay, so like I was saying, have you ever seen one of those drawings that they look like a picture but they're not a copy? They're just like someone's style, but it looks just like a picture or a post or something like that. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. And I really want you to see what my process is when I do things like that. Okay, so before we go into that, remember that 70% of our viewers are not subscribed to the channel. So if you guys are enjoying the content, please subscribe right now. I'm asking you. Hey. Alright, so let's just jump right into the video. Alright guys, so like I said, using reference the right way. That's what this video is going to be about. And what I mean by that is how to use a picture, even in your digital art, in a way that will improve your art and also work with the picture. And there's a lot of people who actually criticize using reference when it comes to digital art, because you can just trace stuff out. Because there's two types of reference that people understand when they say photo reference. One of them, like the usual one, is the good old staring at it and trying to recreate in your paper or your digital thing with no actual use of the image they're looking at, which helps a lot when it comes to gesture or anatomy studies or even other things like clothing and stuff like that. But mostly for gesture. But what I mean by that is people will put a picture up and try to recreate it on their paper or their iPads. However, that's not the type of reference I'm going to talk about today. Why? Because I want to talk about the other type of reference, which is when you put the picture up right next to what you're drawing, and you can even trace up what you're drawing in a way that will not be just copying from something or just tracing something up like most tattooers do, but in a way that can actually help your art. And that's what I want to talk about. So when it comes to this, it's fine to trace a picture, but not to copy it, like I said, because instead of copying and just trying to get that footage out of it, what you're trying to do is to understand the placement of the things, understand the anatomy behind the picture and the planes. And by the planes, I mean trying to understand what goes where and how light and shadow will hit that based on the planes that you will understand from that reference. There's this thing called there's a lot of lumos and a lot of different things you can use to understand anatomy. But what I'm trying to say is you can create your own interpretation of art by putting use to what you've learned from studying images after tracing it, and then taking it to the next level by practicing to a point that you don't need to trace on top of it, but you will just interpret what you see based on what you've learned from that reference. So you can put a picture up, you can go ahead and trace up where the eyes go. You don't have to get into details, you just have to understand where they are. You can understand the nose, you can understand the planes from the cheekbones and the forehead. I don't want to get more into that, but I just wanted to lightly grace what I mean by this. So when you see this picture, this drawing that I have here, once you have practice enough, you can use the reference and then apply it to your own style to it. So you can reference a photo and create a piece of original art. Like with this picture, if you have seen the picture, you probably associate it to it, but you can tell it's not just trace picture, but a piece of art inspired by it. So the takeaway from this video is to use reference, but not just for the sake of copying, but on the sake of learning from it. So you can adapt pieces and practice to learn from what you learn from photos. So when you do things like this, you can basically just go ahead and try to interpret what you see first and then draw on top of that or draw next to it, trying to use the same proportions but use it on your own art style. The thing about your own art style is it can be different, it can be goofy, but if you use a good enough reference, you can create a piece that will look just like it but in your style. And that's what I try to do with a lot of my drawings. I've been drawing a lot of photo things lately. Some of them I try to make it like accurate to it. Sometimes I just try to take it to the next level and make it my thing. And that's a good thing about art. You can always create your own thing, even if you're just taking something from a picture. So what I mean is, don't get scared or don't shy away from reference, because most people in the art world will tell you that using too much reference can limit your art, and that is true to a certain point. Because let's be honest, if you just copy something, if you just trace it and draw on top of it, you will probably not learn a lot from it. So what I do is I do use reference, but as a starting point. So let's say with this picture you can see this girl, she has a book, she is like in a good pose, and she has good clothing, like in a way that's very cool and dynamic and good looking. So I take that picture, I take the elements of it that I like the short hair, the big eyes. I even exaggerate the big eyes because I think she has some beautiful complexion and her cheekbones are big, and I like the way her lips look. So I take those elements and then I draw it in my style. I do the pose, I change the colors, I change the lighting. I even add some things like the mug. So that's what I mean. Art is about creating your own stuff, but not from scratch, because, well, everything you have to learn from somewhere, right? So sometimes you can just take something and make it your own with fan art, with pictures, with whatever you want. So just go ahead and try to understand the drawing with tracing, but then take it to the next level by understanding those shapes and making it yourself. And I will do videos on the planes and the shapes and all that. So let me know if you're interested in that. Also, I'm very interested in seeing if you guys have been practicing or trying to get inspired by whatever I'm drawing. Because sometimes when I see someone draw, I just get this urge to do it myself, like start drawing and start making my own art. And even if you can just try and copy whatever I'm doing, I'll be cool with that. So just let me know if you'd be interested in maybe getting a place for you to submit your art, so I can give it a critique or advice in those pieces, or even like go ahead and finish what I think is not finished, or let's say you start something and you want to see how I would do it, or any tips on it. So let me know what if you'd be interested in doing that, so we can both improve. And what I usually tell people is that anyone can draw. It just takes practice. Why? Because you can have talent, but there's this old saying that I like, that it says talent is good, but talent plus hard work beats talent. So remember, if you practice enough, you'll be better than someone that's just talented but doesn't practice enough. So the more you practice, the more you improve. And with art, it's the thing that even if you 2 years ago you didn't know how to draw, but you keep practicing and learning new stuff, you will eventually get to be good, because it's one of the things that the more you draw, the better you get. So I hope you guys enjoyed this type of content. It's a little different than what I usually do, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Alright guys, so that was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed what I was talking about. If you want to see more things like this, I'm actually testing myself with new techniques and new things with my art. I don't know if you can tell by the video. So if you guys see and like what I'm doing, let me know in the comments below so I can keep doing things like this. And I want to also get into more tutorials and stuff like that. I want to start from beginners to like more advanced. So I even want to do a thing where my viewers can like submit their art and what they're trying to do and trying to emulate what I draw. So let me know if you guys want to see some tutorials. All right, so again, thank you very much for watching the whole video. Remember to like, share and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Share with your friends and make sure that that 70% goes down to 0, because we're gonna see more subscribers in this channel. All right, Have a good one and stay blessed.
Grinding my whole life. Stop that. Grinding my whole life.